Hey, we're here. We just got back from House at the End of the Street.
It's hates.
Yeah, it is. Because it describes how you'll feel about the movie.
It's hashtag hates, as you've seen from all of the previews that abbreviate it to the word hates, or on the TV trailers that say hashtag
Well, no,
hates.
it tells you how you're gonna feel about the movie. It really
Actually,
does.
they do it wrong if they're incorporating every letter in the title. It should be Thaddeus. Thank you.
Hashtag the house. Sorry, the house.
Hashtag Thaddeus. That's what it should
You've
say.
You've thought about this a lot, haven't
Fuckers.
you?
No, I just know how to spell. I know what letters are.
You know what letters are. No, oh my god, it's so bad, and I don't understand the whole house at the end and like all of these house names.
I get that. That I at least get because I mean,
know it's just
last house on the left, house on the edge of the park. Last house on the beach. I mean, stuff like.
But it doesn't even really make sense. It
last
wasn't
house
really
on
about the house.
Last house on Dead End Street. Well, neither were those other movies. Like.
Well, I know. It's just they could have had more.
There wasn't even a house in Last House on Dead End Street.
I keep forgetting the blonde girl. Like every time they said her name, I'm like, I just keep thinking Carol Ann, and it was like Carly.
I'm sure you remembered Carrie Ann.
Carrie Ann.
Because I kept thinking of the song.
I was just like Carol Ann. This house is clear.
Well, I'm sure you remember Jillian.
At least she wasn't a vapid dumbass. She was just a normal, annoying teenager.
Who the first time you see her, she's passed out on the bed, drunk, and goes and throws up. Like, oh my god, Jillian, are you okay?
It's a Lindsay Lohan cameo. Like, she's just laying there. She looks like young Lindsay Lohan. I almost said Hohan, but that fixed it.
Oh, clever.
I know that was like a slip of the tongue. I wasn't even trying. No, but I mean, honestly, with the cast of horrible human beings, the most likable person is the villain in this.
Yeah, he is.
And it's like, oh my god. And essentially, you know, obviously spoilers, but and I saw it coming too, and you did. It was like
I did. I'll tell you why here in a second. Go ahead. Go ahead with some thoughts. I'm gonna look up the actor's name who played the killer.
All right. Essentially, the girl murders the parents, and then the boy lives in the house. His name is Ryan. And
house at the end of the street.
Oh, sorry. Yes, he lives at the end of Hates Avenue.
Hates Avenue. They shaft his short name.
Yes. I want to live on Hates Avenue. So, essentially, like, the entire movie is full of dicks. Like, they are just, oh, we should burn the house down, and they're attacking him. It's like, fuck you, I mean, your parents are dead.
Get in deep about that. I mean, that's...
Well, I'll get in deep on it.
That's some serious
It is fucked up. Like,
yeah.
it's not one of those where you see where it's like, oh, the parents were murdered and they think the boy did it, but there wasn't enough evidence to make these people hate him. It's literally, the boy wasn't there, he was living with his aunt, taking care of his sick aunt. And like, yeah, he's the villain, but you don't find out about that till the end, and none of the characters know this.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that
No, but what I'm saying is none of the characters know this, so there's no basis for their hatred. Like, all of the fucking adults, even the girl's mom, Alyssa, that's the blonde Hunger Games girl,
Elizabeth Shue is
yeah.
the mom.
That makes me feel old.
With her sweet Sarah Connor art. She's aging better than she did.
She is.
She's aging better than she did in
She wears a nightie to bed.
In Back to the Future Part 2. She's got some awesome Sarah Connor arms in this.
Well, and then because essentially the character Ryan is psychotic, and it's the big sleepaway camp twist where the girl had died and he was kidnapping blonde girls and keeping them as a sister, but then the parents... essentially, the daughter had died in a swing accident. She fell off the swing, and then essentially, like at the very end, which they're like leading up to it the whole time, and it was supposed to be this big shocker, like, oh no, and you know, it shows the mom slapping the boy in the face, and he's got longish blonde hair, and he was like, I keep wanting to say Carrie Ann.
Huh?
Carrie Ann?
I'm having trouble keeping up, Micro Machine Man.
I'm sorry. There's just so much anger, and I'm very sorry.
Don't apologize.
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize.
We need to subtitle it. No, but okay. And I mean, the thing is, they hint. I'm sorry, I don't mean to take over. They hint towards it through the whole thing, where he's like, she died, and they're like, but then who killed your parents? And they don't answer it right away. It's like, gee, let me think. And then he was like, well, no, they blamed me and they punished me. And it's like, they show you in the beginning, there's like a blonde girl that murders the parents. So it's not hello. And also, it was supposed to be a big, you know, twist that it's not his sister he's keeping, but he's saying how she was retarded after the accident. But yet she's like figuring out puzzles. I mean, she acts like someone that's held against her will, like when she, you know, sticks the cardboard box under the thing and gets the key.
Well, in terms of the twist of the movie,
Twists.
first of all, yeah, I saw it coming from the opening scene. But also, it was spoiled in a way for me. I mean, like, I would have figured it out early on anyway, but, like, I was guessing it would be a twist like that because I was on some, it was maybe Rotten Tomatoes or something like that, and there was a, one of the critics said something like, a cross between, like, it has elements to it that's like a cross between, like, Psycho and Sleepaway Camp. That's a you don't say something like
Psycho.
that. You don't compare a movie like this to a movie like that unless it has a similar twist.
Well,
that's a spoiler. That's a spoiler
don't
if you're
go
gonna.
looking is what I was gonna say. Stop looking up stuff.
Well, don't put some. I wasn't. I was just looking at. It was a headline on Rotten Tomatoes.
You and your stories.
No, seriously, it was a headline on Rotten Tomatoes, and so you don't compare a movie like that to Sleepaway Camp unless it has something like that in it. It's not going to be like, oh, this movie's got trees and woods, so that means it's like Sleepaway Camp. But anyway, well, you can tell it's a Jennifer Lawrence movie because one, the camera can't freaking keep still.
Thank you.
Also, it covers up violence to get a PG-13, and I don't know though. This was a pretty good commercial for Jennifer Lawrence's singing career.
Yeah, I was afraid you were gonna go into like a seizure or something with all the like.
At the beginning, it was uncomfortable at the beginning.
Well, and
it doesn't keep. This is a very poorly made movie. It can't keep the fucking camera fucking still.
Yeah, 'cause I was gonna wait till the end after the plot points, but it had the weirdest cutaway shots to where it's like they're having a conversation, just her and her mom are folding a blanket. It's cutting to their hands. Somebody would like set a drink down, and it was just very odd shots that didn't make any sense. And I don't know if maybe they did that so that when they do show something to set up a jump scare, which everything was predictable. That maybe it would be less noticeable, but it was very distracting because they just kept doing the most odd cuts in the scenes and camera angles and just
there were
like,
some
there
Dutch
were a couple
angles
Battlefield
in there.
Earth angles.
There were,
like,
and it's just a scene of like Elizabeth Shue and Jennifer Lawrence like folding a bed sheets or something.
And
they're doing it Battlefield Earth angles. I noticed that too.
I was folding blankets while you were learning to spell your name.
I do like how this seems to take place in the same universe as Twilight as well.
Oh God, I was thinking the same.
Where she it's her first day at this high school and she goes in there and instantly everyone's friends with her.
Well,
and
douchey McGoody two shoes.
Everyone's friends with her, and then, like, they're all nervous about the outsider dude who she's taken a love interest in and stuff like that. Like, oh man, Edward Cullen's gonna walk in here any minute, but it's gonna be the guy who's the killer in this. And,
even when any character was introduced, like, I mean, the Jillian chick, yeah, she was drunk, and she was just, like, she was pretty normal
stuff with the two couple in the woods too, because they started doing this romantic thing between Max Thoreau
those were the first times you saw them. That wasn't her. That was a different girl. It was two
I'm not
random
talking
people.
about that. I'm talking about the scene where Max Thoreau and Jennifer Lawrence are like hitting on each other in the woods.
Oh, I thought you meant at near the end when it was just some random couple making out in a car.
No, not
and
those
she was,
two. Oh,
okay.
that.
Yeah, it was just out of nowhere, and they were like, "What?" And she's like, "I saw a girl," and it was the whole. He gets out of the car. Oh, Carly Ann, are you here? And
straight out of like just a drive-in horror.
I know. I was just like, you don't even know the characters. It's the only time you see them. It's like they could have at least had somebody that they had shown earlier, but every time they introduce a character, like the first, guy she meets and the mom's all talking him up, which was just like, God, shut the fuck up. She's like, and he does this, and he does this, and then you find out he's just a fucking douchebag and like almost rapes her.
Yeah,
she's like, get off of me!
Every character in this movie, with the exception of the killer, is really a complete dick. You've got Jennifer Lawrence, who calls her mom a slut several times. and you've got the rapist kid, you've got those bullies who assault the kid at one point, and then
for no reason.
they try burning his house down. They try burning his freaking house down. It's like, these kids are going to freaking jail. Seriously with this fucking shit?
And the parents are like, I want that monster arrested. It's like, he didn't fucking do anything. And everybody
the cop
hates him.
did bring that up to
Yeah.
the cop was like, yeah, alright, lady, just back the fuck off.
The only sane person and, really likable adult even in the movie is the cop, and he's not even a dumbass cop. Like, he's really intelligent.
No.
Well, intelligent in the aspect.
Every character in this movie is a fucking idiot. Every character in this movie is an idiot.
But
no, even him is a moron.
No, he's not a moron.
No, he
he's
is. He's a moron. I'll get it. Yeah, every character is. You've got Jennifer Lawrence's character who sees that he's keeping somebody in his basement. Her first instinct is like, oh, I think I'll go upstairs and just get a drink of water. This makes me very dehydrated. I need to process my thoughts that this guy is keeping women in his basement. You've got the killer who, the girls that he keeps captive in there keep escaping because he just keeps the key right above the thing, and they beat the door to bring the key down, and they bring it under the thing. Like,
to be fair, he's crazy, so you can't.
But he's an idiot. Crazy people are usually pretty fucking smart. Also, I don't know how he's been getting away with this for so long. That makes the cops stupid.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth Shue's character, who it's obvious that this guy is insane because Max Thoreau, and I had to double check this because I was 90% sure it was the same guy. He was the lead in My Soul to Take, and it's the same complaint that I had about him in My Soul to Take. Is it's that bad Wes Craven movie from like a year or two ago.
Okay.
It's the same complaint I had about him in that, is that he's got a good look to he looks like Mark Patton.
He's pretty.
He's got a good look to him and whatnot, but he's in
the vapid crazy eyes.
No, like I'm gonna complain about that.
Well, everybody always suspects
he's
you anyway.
one note. He's one note through this entire movie, and he was one note throughout the entirety of My Soul to Take. This, from point A to point B of this movie, twist included, he's completely one note. He plays it exactly the same way. You know this guy is fucking insane because how he's playing this part. There's no happiness to the character in any area. There's nothing but, there's not even like really belligerent anger. There's nothing but just like flatline, very quiet, psychotic, almost sociopathic. Disturbed sociopathic. That's how he's playing it throughout this whole movie, with like the watery eyes and whatnot. 5 o'clock shadow and stubble.
Well, here's my thing on that. I didn't see My Soul to Take, and I mean I saw it coming. I knew he was gonna end up being, but I thought, I mean, maybe just because everybody else was so unlikable, on how everybody was treating him and what he had gone through.
When he broke that kid's ankle, that was.
I know.
I like that.
But to me, at least in that part, his, kind of quiet Disturbia type demeanor worked just because he's, he was taking care of his aunt when he was like 7 years old, according to the plot anyway, and just how horrible the town and everything had been to him, and that he was essentially alone. It's like, to me, that kind of fucks a person up, so I didn't find that demeanor out of place leading up to that, but I still think he should have lost his shit near the end instead of just still being stoic during the climax. I thought
it was out of place because of how passive everyone was towards him, especially Jennifer Lawrence. Like, I thought it was out of place that nobody is picking up that this guy is a psychopath. I thought it was out of place because of that. I'm not saying that it was unrealistic that he would act that way. I'm saying that there wasn't anything charismatic about the guy. There wasn't anything that seemed like it would draw somebody like Jennifer Lawrence to this character.
They tried to fix that with the whole, she falls for these guys and has like a project and fix broken people.
And again, even with that, it's like, she usually finds guys whose parents were freaking murdered and they live by themselves and are clearly sociopathic. Like,
well, that was the biggest thing, though. It was like, it wasn't even nobody had a reason other than he's living alone. It really came off like, your parents were murdered, fuck you, how dare you, you know, it's just, it made absolutely no sense in the whole town. It wasn't even some kind of, you know, mysterious and we suspect that he had something to do with it. And the thing is, I really didn't like Elizabeth Shue. Like, I mean, her...
Oh, I did.
Her performance was fine. I mean, her character.
Her performance, I thought, was fine.
Her character, it was just
yeah.
like... And it just didn't make sense where she was coming from, and I guess whatever, because, you know, she was a big old slut and she didn't want her girl to get anybody. But, I mean, she invites the kid over to dinner, like, oh, I'm gonna make nice, chugging back wine, and I guess that's the excuse. And then she's like, you know... Understandably, I don't want you guys alone, but the way she presents it, instead of just a normal, sane parent, is, you're in college and we moved here so she could focus on, you know, schoolwork, but he was like, what, maybe 18, 19 tops? And it's like, I don't know any parent who would be mad that somebody, you know, it's like, okay, he's in college, good, he's not, you know, a schlupp. And
I'm pretty sure Jennifer Lawrence's character is under 18, though.
She was 17.
17.
Right,
yeah.
which is legal in a lot of places, but at the same time, 2 years, you know, like, at most. Like, he couldn't have been over 18 or 19.
I know parents who would flip their shit out about that. I'm not speaking from experience.
Yeah, no.
but no, I know parents who would kind of...
But present it that way to just, like, start verbally attacking the person and when you invite them to dinner.
I know what you mean.
It's like, you don't invite them to dinner and be like, look, alright, you're here, finish your mashed potatoes, but stay the fuck away from my daughter. And it's just like... You know, it was just poorly presented, and just everybody...
I wish she totally went, like... I was kind of expecting, because, like...
Flipper shit.
Yeah, like, at the end, because she's, like, got these toned arms throughout the movie. She's always wearing a tank top, and so is Jennifer Lawrence. But anyway, like, at the end... I was thinking, like, oh man, she's gonna, like, go
Sarah
after this
Connor.
guy, yeah, with, like, a crowbar or some shit, but, you know, that would require the movie to have balls. That's what I'm gonna get to right now.
No, I know, I'm sorry, I'm thinking, so I don't forget what I'm about to say.
That's what I'm gonna get to right now, is that this is, it's a diaper horror film. Where that not in that, like,
it gets you so scared you're gonna blow load.
No, not like that. It's that it's made
soiling.
It's made for an audience who is so young that they're still in diapers. This is a movie where people get stabbed, but it's choreographed.
Scream was more graphic than this
Scream
movie.
was rated R.
Well, no, I'm just saying
But this is a PG-13 horror film.
It looks like he's hugging him instead of stabbing.
Movies,
it's like,
yeah, movies, they... You know, some horror movies need blood, some don't. This is the kind that does, especially in that it's choreographed in such a way that a guy gets stabbed in the gut and you see literally no blood at all. It's just, it looks like, that's what it looks like. It looks like they're covering it up to get a PG-13.
And when he got shot, it was just like, it looked like red swirling, like there wasn't anything.
Blood is scary for the little audience.
Well, as Aqua Teen Hunger Force taught you, just have a rainbow pop out. But
at the beginning of the movie where there's a bludgeoning with the parents.
Yeah, it's just like red stained feathers fall, which doesn't even make any sense.
That's because in a PG-13 horror film, characters can only kill each other with pillows.
Well, the thing is, too, I was, like, the very beginning, I could tell how these characters were going to be developed, because they hear something, and clearly, you know that it's unbalanced, and it's like, okay, go check.
Yeah.
The wife screams, and you hear thud, and, like, then you hear her, like, kind of scream again, and the man of the house, the husband, is just kind of sitting on his bed looking wide-eyed, like, oh, shit's going down. It's like, no, that's cool, you just let your wife handle it, and then, you know, it was like you knew it was expected because the girl comes in, or, you know, boy, but the girl comes in and the father just starts screaming, like, no fight back or anything, and I'm like, alright, it's gonna be this. But, real quick, what I was gonna say with I've said this so many times, I hate watching full trailers for stuff because I retain the information, and anything that was supposed to be quote-unquote suspenseful wasn't, and not just because they didn't do it well, but because of scenes that were shown.
Didn't do it well.
Well, no, I know, but I just mean, like, even of, like, oh, she might get away now, and it was just, you know, because they showed the mom coming to the door, like, I know my daughter's in here, blah, 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 so you know as soon as the cop kind of figures out, because he doesn't believe the kid, and that's what I meant by, like...
I would have picked that up regardless of seeing a trailer.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, because what I meant by, like, intelligent cop is the whole, like, usually in horror movies, you get the cop that's like, oh, she's not here, alright, and then he kind of, like, picked up on it for once in a horror movie and, like, calls the girl's phone because they found out.
Too fucking late. It's not that hard to figure out that this fucking guy is kidnapping people.
I'm just saying for the stance of
They say earlier
cops.
in the movie that witnesses are seeing a girl in a nightgown running around the woods in this freaking area.
That's just urban legend.
Oh, sure it is. Sure it is. Yeah, sure it's not the guy, this freaking psychopath who's living by himself in a house in a town where a lot of girls are probably going missing. Because I'm sure this isn't the first freaking time he's done that.
I think he goes out of town, though, because that one chick had a Penn State jacket. So I think he's driving out of town and not...
I was wondering why she was wearing a Penn State thing.
Because I don't think he's abducting girls of the town.
Penn State doesn't have a bad enough reputation right now. It's gotta advertise and hates.
It didn't, baby. It didn't happen because of Penn State. It's just saying bad things happen if you go to Penn State. But no, what I was saying is just, you know, I hate it because as bad as the movie was for creating suspense, it was just one of those, it was supposed to, you know the cop's gonna get it because of how it's set up.
Well, yeah.
And what dumbass cop, you know, like the lights go out and you find out, you know, because the call is coming from inside the house because the girl, you know, the cell phone drops and it rings. And so the cop goes in, pitch black in the house, like Silence of the Lambs, pitch black, like he can't see a thing. The kid's hiding with a knife. The cop's just got his gun going all like Miami Vice style. Cops have flashlights. The what's her face, Jennifer Lawrence, even grabs the flashlight off of his dead body and uses it, and it's a shitty ass flashlight too. And so it's just one of those.
Enough to shoot the dude and then bludgeon him in the head with a hammer, bloodless.
Yeah. Well, and that's
we don't want children to know that blood comes from getting stabbed and getting hit in the head.
Well,
that's way too scary.
When he stabbed the cop,
too fucking scary.
Because the cop was like, "I defended you, I protected you," and he's like, "You're just like everybody other." It almost looks like she hugged him.
The camera angle was positioned up in a way too to where you couldn't see the wound.
Yeah, you didn't even know he was stabbed till he looks down and there's a knife. Like they never showed penetration.
You see the knife. You see the knife in.
After.
Well, hang on. You see the knife in Elizabeth's shoe,
yes.
And I guarantee you, it's because she's wearing a black tank top to where you can't make out blood on it.
And that's the thing, it's like, it looks like he just kind of rammed him up and almost hugged him, and then you're like, oh, he got stabbed. It was just really badly done.
The whole movie was really badly done.
I was very angry, and...
I wasn't angry, I was
angry that it was such a bad movie, and how stupid the characters were.
It was just what I thought it was gonna be. I won't go so far as to say I was like really angry. I just didn't give a shit. I really wanted it to be over with. I really wanted. I was antsy about for the thing to end. I certainly was, but I didn't have any rage while watching it.
Well, it wasn't more so rage at the movie. It was rage. Well, I didn't like any of the characters, and I just didn't want to be there. So it was making me angry at how, because you can have a bad horror movie with stupid characters who you're like, don't go upstairs. Yeah, I mean, you can have that, and you still have at least some likable characters. Somebody with something redeeming, and honestly, the most likable person was the villain.
Yeah, these characters were especially
They were
dumb.
vapid.
Even for a horror film, these characters were dumb. Like, even in, like, The Human Centipede, which had some really dumb characters in it, there was still... The villain was smart.
Yeah.
In it. Dr. Hyder, you still at least had that. There's not one character in this movie with a fucking brain in their head.
And not only that, but just generic fucking douchebags for no reason. I get it. The high school guy, you know, potential rapist, whatever, you get that. But every parent in this movie, for no reason, I know I said this like 5 times, for no reason whatsoever, hates this fucking kid. And they give no reason other than the kid's parents were murdered. Like, they even say about burning down the house, and then lightly Joe be like, well, he didn't say he had to necessarily be in the house when they burned it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, we're gonna it's not good. We're gonna take a break. We'll be right back with the trailers. Okay, I did this last night. I just out of curiosity, since all the trailers for it kept being like #hates. I was like, out of curiosity, is there any fucking dumbass on Twitter really doing #hates? And there were. I printed off enough that like kind of made me laugh here. We've got all right. Maximilian Foisey says, "I hates house on the end of the street." Marissa said, #hates. I want to see that. We got...
It was trending, wasn't it?
Allie... I don't know.
I think it was trending.
Allie Carter here goes, "I think scary movie trailers should be optional, especially after 6 o'clock. Thanks, hates. Now I'm terrified to go to sleep."
The entire movie wasn't scary, let alone the trailer.
Well, guy, I want to see that hates movie. I'm really sad I'm not seeing House at the End of the Street tomorrow. I really wanted to go. Sad face, #hates. Who's excited for... Oh, this is the killer. Max Thoreau goes, "Who's excited for Friday? #hates."
To be fair, promote your own shit. I mean, nothing.
Brianna goes, "Hates wasn't what I expected it to be."
She
What
already
do you
saw
expect
it.
it to be?
Spoiler.
"Whoever takes me to the house at the end of the street this weekend will be my favorite person ever. #hates.
Wait, what's that person's name?
Shally.
With like 10 eyes.
At Princess Shally.
Princess Shally.
Lucy goes,
Loose Lucy.
Loose Lucy goes, "There was one slight good thing about living in the UK. We have hates out early. What?" Oh, Film Brain, I'm so fucking jealous of you, man. You got to see hates early.
Oh, I thought you meant he tweeted
No, he
something.
didn't
I was
tweet.
like, Matthew.
He didn't tweet it. P. Matt goes, "Oh, house at the end of the street looks scary as hell. #hates. This one doesn't even have to do with the movie. It's from someone called God's Son, who goes, "In every circle of friends, there's always that one person everyone secretly #hates. Don't have one? Then it's probably you."
To be fair, when "To Boldly Flee" was trending, there were people that didn't know why it was trending, and
Yeah.
then just using it in generic things, and CR had favorited a bunch of them, so that was pretty entertaining.
Obama says...
Obama?
Not our president. Someone just named Obama goes, "I don't know whether to watch Hates or not. Positives, it has Jennifer Lawrence. Negatives, it's a horror movie. I'll never sleep again."
Are they like 6-year-olds using Twitter?
Yeah, it's who this fucking movie's made
Jennifer
for.
Lawrence is big with the 6-year-old
LJ
crowd.
says, "Hates looks sick."
Sick, like good or sick? Like...
Sick like good. Like,
Okay.
sick. This movie looks sick.
Okay.
Oh, thank God it's PG-13. That would be unsick. I
Ooh,
would have
people
to
could
trade.
see it.
I'd have to trade macaroni and cheese with my dad so I could watch 5 minutes of it.
Pudding
You ever
cup.
see that commercial? Yeah, that kid's fucking hardcore, man. I was watching RoboCop when I was that kid's age. He can go fuck himself.
Oh my.
Worst parent ever. The kid in the commercial, not my parents. My parents are fucking great. I watched RoboCop, had the toys, everything. Joshosaurus Sex says, "Happy Hates Day! I hope you did. I hope you don't get excited by the creepy yet handsome guy next door too." There's one. What was the one name on here that like maybe it was like Jehovah's.
Josh Hadley hates every day.
Yeah, just Jehovah's Wetness. That was one of the names. One person, Callisto. Just all they go is just #hates. That's all it says. Hates.
Wait, real bit quick before we get into the previews, there was one
Yeah.
more thing I wanted to say and I forgot.
Go ahead.
Kitty. The one thing that was weird is whenever you saw certain things, they were doing it like a supernatural movie, and there were no supernatural elements.
They
you
did
get
that.
with,
That,
like, the
that
whole
reminded me
vision
of.
and-
Yeah, I mean that reminded me of like when I saw Cold Creek Man.
Well, it was just weird because
Cold Creek Manor did that too.
when the girl escapes, one of the girls, it's like all of this like red, like almost T-800 like vision that just didn't fit. And I understand if you want to do like ooh scary angles, and I'm sorry, just because you change your font from block font into really skinny font doesn't make your movie any more scary. And they did that through like the whole thing when it was like 4 hours later it was like and would turn just like really thin lines instead of
Scary.
Microsoft
Hates.
block.
Oh, that's sick. That's a sick effect. Hates. So the trailers, there was Sinister looks good. That was my first.
Sinister.
That's the one with Ethan Hawke.
Yes.
Where it's like a haunted house movie crossed with like Blow Up.
Yes. Yes.
I want to see. Like that looked genuinely pretty spooky. That was I'd seen
With, like,
posters
the god
for it
of
all over.
something or other.
Yeah, I'd seen posters for it all over. That was my first time seeing the trailer.
You get Thor back from Adventures in Babysitting.
Yeah, D'Onofrio, you got D'Onofrio in there. I'm curious to see that.
I do want to see that.
I like movies like stuff like Blow Up or Blow Out, like with Travolta, where the mystery is kind of set on looking at like film or photography.
8mm.
I really like movies like that. So I'm curious to see it. We had that one with
The new Jennifer Lawrence movie with the dude from The Hangover.
Yeah, with Brad. That was the one I was thinking of with Bradley Cooper. Where
instead of singing, it's dancing.
Between that and The Words, like it's like Cooper's doing a good job of making some theatrical Lifetime movies. It looked like I don't know.
She's the troubled person in this movie instead of going after the troubled person. She's
it looked like All About Steve crossed with Garden State. Like
I haven't seen either of those.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like one of those just the typical little teen movies where it's like, I'm troubled. It's okay.
Trouble my ass.
That. No, but it's like, okay, I see past that. I have a dance competition.
What was that? That was out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was.
So, is it a dance movie, or is is it like Ordinary People, or is it Garden
It's Saturday
State?
Night Fever.
Oh, it's certainly not Saturday Night Fever.
I
That's
know.
one of my favorite movies.
No, I'm joking.
It's not Saturday Night Fever. It's
Saturday Night Flu.
It's Staying Alive.
Oh yes, sorry. I get those two mixed up.
So, oh God,
I haven't seen
breaks
either
my
of them
heart.
for a really long time.
Oh my God.
They both have John Travolta. I don't know which is which.
The good one is Saturday Night Fever. The bad one is
I
Staying
don't
Alive.
even remember which was which. I don't remember entirely.
You don't remember that Saturday Night Fever is the one with him in the white polyester suit going like this?
That's the only thing I remember about that movie. And I
Well, at
never
least you remember
the title
that.
of
At
it.
least you remember that. I've got the Blu-ray over there if you want to borrow it. It's one of the greatest movies ever
Grease
made.
and Grease 2.
Well, I should hope so.
Production.
We had
What are the other reviews?
the collection.
Oh, yeah,
it's
where
like-
it's like Saw meets the Cube.
It just looked like Saw.
It was generic. Well, no, and kind of the Cube, because essentially this guy's got all of these booby traps set off, but it's not. It's more
That
so,
nightclub part, that was pretty cool.
That was cool. That reminded me of a Ghost Ship when they explained how everybody died,
yeah.
and the giant line just cuts everybody in half.
It's a rave, and there's this
Yeah.
lawnmower machine that comes down and chops everybody up. They didn't even have to say that this was from the writer of the Saw
Oh, I
sequels.
knew as soon as that, but
Yeah.
I don't think it may necessarily be good, because it's like they're trying to just do something like, well, we can't do Saw anymore, let's do this, but there were elements, the way they had to go from room to room that were reminiscent
You got
of the
more of
Cube.
this trailer than I did. I couldn't follow really a lot. It looked like that...
That's because it was flashing so much, you probably had to look away.
No. It looked like you cross a Saw movie with that...
The Cell.
What was that one? No.
Well, the Cell and that, somebody's kidnapped and
That
being
one
tortured
with
and
Jack Bauer's daughter, where she gets kidnapped and Capacity, or Captivity.
It's a ticking
Captivity.
clock movie meets the Cube / Saw.
It looked like Captivity, and Captivity
Want my
was
family
fucking
back.
terrible.
No, but I mean that's the basis. It's a ticking clock.
It was a terrible trailer though, because I couldn't tell who the lead was. There's a voiceover who sounds like this is our lead character, but I couldn't tell who it was.
Yeah.
There are flashes of several different people. I can't tell who's talking. I don't know who our lead is supposed to be. Is that the bad guy? Is that the bad guy? I
Black
can't.
guy has
I
the
can't
new face
tell.
of horror that's covered up by a mask.
Maybe it'll be okay. I mean, it's just a trailer, but
No, but that's what I thought was funny is they're already
He looks like
hyping
the
it like it's gonna be some huge classic and that they already plan to make 1 million of them.
He's the
because
killer.
they're saying
yeah.
the new face of horror, kind of like it's like they're trying to make it like a Michael Myers type.
They are.
Already, yeah.
He looks like the killer from.
At least he's not brave.
He looks like the killer from The Prowler.
Yeah, but I mean,
At least that'll be a hard R.
as
so.
long as they make it gory, I'll be happy. I'm sure it will most likely suck, but you never know. But they do need something new October since the Saw series is done. So, I mean, I can enjoy a
Paranormal
movie.
Activity 4.
See, I don't watch those.
Paranormal Activity 4, we got that.
What do you think about that? Because you've seen the other ones. I have not.
I don't like what I like about the other movies is that there's like some identifiable characters in there. You know, whether it's Katie. I know people rag on Mika, but I did like that character a lot. The characters from the second one I liked. The characters in the third one I did.
Is this 4 or 5?
This is 4. This is 4. I don't give it here's what I take away from the trailer of 4. Maybe it'll be good.
They incorporate Skype into it, so
That's
it's like
stupid.
the vagabond teenager that's like, I don't know what's going on.
That's dumb.
What's going on?
But like, first of all, I thought it was going to be a continuation from where 3 left off, and maybe it still is. But anyway, I don't care if some airhead blonde teeny bopper girl gets haunted by a fucking ghost. I really don't.
Well, and that's the thing too. It was like, you know, it's all been leading up to this point. It's like, I don't know, like I haven't even seen the movies, but I could still follow from one to the other trailer-wise. And it just didn't really make any sense because they're talking about a kid next door, and he's like, I don't know, he's just standing there. Ooh, cat across the screen. It's like, I don't know, he's just standing there. And then she's talking to her boyfriend on Skype the whole time, walking around with her laptop, apparently, which I don't know who does, or you're just like...
Oh, it's so they can get it in the shot.
Oh, okay. But yeah, because it starts with her setting up the camera, you know, for fan service with, like, her lying on the bed. I'm like, why are you taping yourself asleep? And it's not like she's scared or anything. It's just kind of like, it's my new house. You know, and I don't know. I don't...
Taken 2.
Oh, yes, Liam Neeson kicks ass part 2.
Because every movie I've gone to see for the past 2 months has had a
Taken
Taken 2 trailer, so there's nothing
I
more I
don't
can say
think,
about that.
I don't know, like, I love Liam Neeson, so it's Liam Neeson kicking ass again, but I still, my big qualm with it, I don't buy the daughter as, like, supporting action hero. They show her, like, stunt driving, and yeah, in the trailer she's like, but there's a scene where it's, like, rooftop to rooftop, and they show her just, like, leap, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I just, maybe...
That's the most unrealistic thing about these Luc Besson movies.
No, I'm just saying, to stick somebody like that in an action-y role, I mean, unless her dad put her through, like, fucking boot camp, like, you're gonna take care of yourself.
Honestly, after the events of the first one, fucking probably.
But she doesn't come off that way any other time. She comes off like that's the greatest, like, and just, I don't know, she comes off...
Well, I'm waiting until video anyway, because I'm not going to watch it edited.
It's edited?
Yeah, the first one was too. It's not released unrated until DVD.
Why don't they want to have Liam Neeson awesomeness in the theater?
Because
and
the
all
people...
is Liam Neeson goodness.
Because the people who produce it think that the audience are a bunch of fucking pussies. So anyway, the house at the end of the street hates... No, it's not good. It's bad. It's really bad.
The hashtag explains how you'll feel about the movie.
Alright, so we'll be back later tonight with Dread.
Well, you will, you son of a bitch!
I'm seeing Dread.
Every movie...
You got to see Hates, come on.